it's been a mad day for the news. Learn the latest reports surrounding Jorginho's future away from the club. We're interested in 2 Juventus players and learn the story behind the player the club are blocking any loan attempts and moves for. Ton of stuff to break down, hope you enjoy. Before we get into things, I need to get one big plug out of the way first. Today's video is brought to you by SPITCH, the ultimate fantasy manager app new on the market, which allows you to fulfill those secret managerial fantasies I know you guys really have deep down. Now, when you're watching my news videos, I'm sure you're frowning your faces at some of the players I've been linked with, like, Needy, come on, what is this? If I was the manager, this is the team that I'm building, and this is how I get us competing. With SPITCH, now you can prove that, you guys. You can try it out for free, or if you're really serious about competing and really testing them skills, pay a little bit of money and get involved. Now, it's very easy to sign up. Of course, in the description below, you will find a download link. Click on that. Then, of course, try the app out for yourselves. As you guys can see on screen beside me, you join your free league. You pick your formation, you pick your lineup, you select your captain. And once you do that, you confirm. And the only thing you have to do is just register, which is very quick. Put in your personal details, of course. You got to prove you're 18 plus. Of course, they have to see your ID real quick as well too. And then once you've done that, you guys, you're free to go. As I'm saying, description below, you'll find a download link. Click on that and try SPITCH out for yourselves. And on that note, let's get back to the video. So we start with the first story and let's discuss the latest news surrounding Xavier Mbuyamba, because reports have come out suggesting that the club are blocking any loan attempts for the player. And this was revealed by his agent, in fact, who is Carlos Barros. And he reports that many clubs from this country and from abroad have been talking to him over the possibility of signing his client on loan. However, the club have said no to that. And the reasoning behind the no is because they want to keep that PL2 reserve squad strong. This point in time, we're not doing too well. We're right near the bottom of the table. A lot of that comes down to the fact that, a lot of these guys are very young, playing for the reserve team essentially. A lot of the guys that we have are fast tracked out of the club. They have their loan moves, they've been sold, etc, etc. So it only makes a lot of sense. However, does it make sense to keep Mbuyamba there, who's close to being 20 years old now, if I'm correct? Especially when he could be playing first team football in top divisions, getting a taste of it right now, instead of him just spending another season with the academy. I'm not too sure behind that personally, and I have to get your opinions as well. Now, I'm not here just painting the club out to be villains. There could be a multitude of reasons behind why we are saying no. I mean, number one, maybe the offers we're getting aren't good enough. That could be down to the clubs not being strong enough, not being of the right environment that we want to put one of our players in to work with. Or maybe the money that they're putting up just isn't big enough. It could come down to maybe wanting Mbuyamba to sign a new contract first. He does have 18 months left on his current deal. However, it is quite disappointing that he hasn't been allowed to leave to prosper in his career. When you've got loan bids from Holland, in this country, in Italy, and many more, I feel like really benefit personally from getting exposure to first team football now instead of waiting for a pre-season and hoping something happens then. I mean, I'm not too sure about this, to be honest. Let's see what happens as the window does go on, but it does seem like he is being kept here, maybe against the players' will. Maybe that sounds a bit too loaded. I hope it doesn't, to be honest. Of course, he was a Lampard signing. I guess things haven't quite gone to plan at this point in time. Having the injury last season didn't help, but also the fact that maybe his progress now is delayed by another year due to that injury. We haven't seen him being close to breaking into Tuchel's squad. Even we had all those injury issues recently as well too. So I'm not too sure about this one personally. Let's hope that we aren't looking to stall his career at all. But now we move on to the next story, and I guess that this story was bound to come up during this month. I mean, it normally tends to come up during every transfer window, and that's surrounding the future of Jorginho, as many reports in Italy, actually, especially from Gazzetta as well, are reporting that Juventus are strongly looking at signing Jorginho in the summer. Now, we know that they had interest in the player beforehand. We know that Lampard, when he asked for Jorginho to be sold, that there was lots of interest coming from Italian clubs. However, in the end, no business came through. The offers weren't good enough, and the club didn't want to sell ideally as well too. However, now that we're seeing maybe some glimpses and signs that Tuchel might want to transition us back to a back four system, 3 in midfield, that would require us needing an actual DM playing and sitting in front of that defense. There are many tactical benefits to that. And my thing is, are we looking to make maybe some decisive changes in the squad in the first team to maybe realign how we want this team to compete in the future. Jorginho, for me, I've got a lot of respect for him, and I always get a bit disappointed that many people forgot the constant support I had for the player during Sarri's season in particular. I felt like maybe the critique he was getting at the time contextually just wasn't as accurate or as fair. But I think for me, my opinions always come down to what is the football we're trying to play, and who are the players in the team, in the squad, who are going to get us to playing that football to its maximum level. I've been saying for a while, we can't be doing this thing of having managers constantly like managing other managers' leftovers. When you sign a manager, fully commit to their ambition and their plans. We're not doing that so far, but it does feel like Tuchel could be the closest one since maybe Mourinho to have this type of license afforded his way. If we want to fully back him, let's get the players he wants. Of course, he likes, respects Jorginho. Jorginho's a very popular guy in the squad too. Everyone kind of likes him, and he's rated very highly across Europe as well. He's world class in many attributes. His short game passing, one of the best in the world in my opinion. The press resistance, his tactical understanding, he has an abundance. However, if you want to play more vertically, more expansively, if you need a guy to cover more ground, to play off the ground a bit more too, and maybe be a bit more imposing in the middle, that isn't his game. And in football at this level, it's not about just keeping every random amazing player. Keep the ones that suit the football you're trying to play. And I do feel like there is an opportunity here to transition away from a Jorginho, profit in on him, get a ton of cash, and reinvest into a squad that is ready to challenge for the next 5 to 7 years instead of a team that's ready to challenge for the next maybe 1 to 2 seasons. So that's my thoughts and opinions behind the story. Let's see what happens with this one. And now we continue the news in Turin as more reports are coming out surrounding De Ligt of Juventus. Now, Calcio Massar report this story. Juventus, they're planning on doing a complete new squad revamp this summer. They need to cash in, they need to reinvigorate the team as well too. And the best way to do that is to sacrifice certain players of very high market value. So of course, build a squad that's ready to challenge for the next few seasons. It's no surprise that many clubs in Europe now are aligning towards younger signings and revamps in the squad and team now, because they know that it's basically a new decade. We need to be ready to compete against the new teams out there. De Ligt has a 125 million release clause. However, Juventus would be keen to sell him at around 80 million euros, which is quite similar to the fee that Sevilla want us to pay for Koundé, which is very interesting in my opinion. Now, yeah, De Ligt, he's rated, he's respected, of course, especially from his teammates as well too. He's been decent for Juventus. However, this is a player that costs a ton of money. And I can't help but cynically see it like this. Imagine if we were to sign De Ligt. You're paying that money for the transfer fee. You're giving this guy contracts at least 4 years minimum. And already he earns about 11 million euros at Juventus. So if we're signing him, we're not signing him so he gets paid less money. And it's just ironic considering that Christensen, Rudiger, etc. if we let them go on freeze and then we end up doing business like this and giving De Ligt the contract that these guys didn't even want anything close to, I guess we'd have to question the boards, but at this point in time they're safe for now because none of this is actual reality, hopefully. But moving on, really not surprised to be that Raiola would be keen on moving on one of his big clients in the window. We do know that there are going to be some regulations coming into effect very soon now in regards to the amount of money that agents can profit off when, of course, transfers do take place. Reports suggested that when he saw big boys like Haaland and Pogba, he was cashing in between 30 to 50% in agent fees, and now the new cap is between 6 to 10%, which is a massive decrease. So there's a small little window for Raiola to earn big before these new rules kick into place. You guys, I'll leave it up to you to have your thoughts and opinions behind that one. But I don't know. De Ligt, I think he's a great player. Reports are suggesting that we see him as a future of our defense. But, for that type of money that he'd be available for as well. And the fact that there's so many great players available in Europe defensively. Great young ones. We even possess one of the best ones, in my opinion, in Levi Colwill. I just really hope that we are doing the right business and the right preparation if we do plan on spending big, because we have a habit, you guys, of not getting our money's worth on the big name signings we tend to make. So you guys in the comments, how do you find the story surrounding De Ligt? Is he De Ligt one you want to see? That was terrible. Let's just get on to the next story, bro. And we end things with the final story, I guess, to complete this remontado of just recycle news coming back again to haunt us. Yet again, we have another Alex Sandro's story. I know what you're thinking. Is this like 2017 again? Without fail, there's always an Alex Sandro story that pops up, and I just feel like it's just out of duty now that I have to report it. But anyway, who knows about this one? It's interesting. Reports in Italy, multiple ones, reporting that we have made inquiries over the availability of Alex Sandro this window. Now, negotiations haven't taken place because we are waiting to get like maybe the go sign from Juventus to be able to start talking. But reality is he's 31, he has 18 months left on his current deal. The last time we tried to sign him, when Juventus wanted about 60 million for him, we only offered 40 million at the time, and that's why nothing happened with that deal. I don't know. On one note, he's still an amazing professional player. I mean, he's got so many appearances for Juventus. We've really benefited from having experience in the squad and in the team as well too. And I feel like Sandler's one of those guys that younger fullbacks could definitely learn a lot from. One in particular could be an Ian Maatsen, who I've heard Tuchel really was impressed by during pre-season. I'm expecting him to be part of the pre-season team again in the summer. And let's hope and let's see if he's ready to be like a real competition figure for Ben Chilwell for next season, because Maatsen is a guy that can play all down that left flank and in the middle as well too. He is a very good player. But getting back to Alex Sandro, I'd only be happy with this if before the window ends in the next few days, talks of a loan happening came through, because I think that type of experience and quality we could definitely use now with how our season is going. But I don't see it working like that at all. And the reality is, I don't see us signing a single player in this window. I think we've been close. We've had many inquiries, Interest FC, as we're known as currently. But I just think reality is summer is when we're going to see things. Now that Reece James is close to coming back as well soon, I guess it'd have to be some like unreal possibilities to open up in the next few days for us to really do something. But I feel like all the talks and stuff we're doing now is leading towards the business we'll do in the summer. Alex Sandro, I'm hoping this is the last time I ever talk about interest in you, especially when it's not really given too much at this point in time. But yeah, who knows? Maybe one day we might sign him and continue this trend of signing players that we've always wanted 10 years later. I'm looking at your Quaresmas, I'm looking at your Decos, Falcaos, Etus. I can go on, you guys. But on that note, I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow, you guys expect more content, and I'm going to bring back another Q&A stream. So it's a good opportunity for some of you guys to have your questions answered by me. So on that note, I'm the EFC, this is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.